Canada is supposed to be one of the best countries in the world to live in, but right now, for a lot of people, it's actually kind of brutal. The average rent in Toronto hit $2,400 a month in 2026. Vancouver? $2,700. Even Montreal, the city broke artists and students ran to for decades, is now pushing $1,800 for a basic one-bedroom. Wages have not kept up. People earning $60,000 a year are handing over half their take-home pay just to not sleep outside. The idea that you can rent a nice place, save money, and actually build something, it feels like it's disappearing. But here's the thing. Canada is an enormous country, and tucked inside the province of Quebec, the one France handed over and honestly should have fought harder to keep, there are cities where life doesn't just cost less, they are genuinely great places to live. We're talking rent under $1,200 a month in 2026 for real apartments in real towns with hospitals, universities, restaurants, and actual communities, not shacks, not dying ghost towns, real places. So let's take every piece of data we have on Quebec rental markets and rank the 7 best towns where rent is still under $1,200, counting down from number 7 all the way to the single best option in the entire province. Before we start the countdown, let's talk about why $1,200 is the number. In 2026, the average Canadian spends 35 to 40% of their income on housing. Financial advisors say the ceiling should be 30%. If you earn $45,000 a year, roughly $2,800 after taxes, $1,200 in rent puts you at 43%. Still tight, still stressful. But earn $55,000, achievable in Quebec through trades, healthcare, education, or remote work, $1,200 is suddenly 32% of take-home. You're in the zone, you're saving, you're building something. $1,200 is the line between surviving the month and actually living in it. Every town on this list stays under it. Quick thing, if you're already thinking about which of these towns might work for you, hit that like button and subscribe right now. We put out breakdowns like this every single week, and you absolutely do not want to miss the next one. Okay, countdown starts now. Number 7 on our list, Victoriaville. 165 kilometers northeast of Montreal, tucked into the Centre de Quebec region, Victoriaville quietly does a lot of things right. Average one-bedroom rent in 2026, $850 to $950. A two-bedroom, $1,050 to $1,150. What gives Victoriaville its identity is something rare. It basically invented Quebec's environmental movement. It hosts one of the province's biggest annual ecology festivals, has strong cycling infrastructure, and a downtown that is walkable without being pretentious about it. The job market runs on manufacturing, agriculture, and public services. It's not a tech hub, but remote workers have been quietly discovering it for years because groceries, restaurants, and entertainment run 20 to 30% cheaper than Montreal. The trade-off: limited nightlife, limited English, and the winters will absolutely test you. But if you speak French or want to learn, and your ceiling is under $1,000 a month, Victoriaville deserves serious attention. Number 6, Rimouski. 300 kilometers east of Quebec City, right on the south shore of the St. Lawrence River, and it has an energy you don't expect from a city this remote. Average one-bedroom, $800 to $950. Two-bedroom, $1,000 to $1,150. Why the energy? 3 things. UQAR, the Université de Quebec at Rimouski, keeps the city young, educated, and moving. The St. Lawrence waterfront creates the kind of scenery that usually comes with a much bigger price tag. And the local economy has diversified into maritime sciences, healthcare, and education, stable, recession-resistant work. Downtown Rimouski is genuinely alive. Good restaurants, indie cafes, a real art scene, a film festival. The trade-off here is distance. Rimouski is remote, full stop. You're not commuting to Montreal for anything. This is a city you commit to. But if you do, you get a quality of life that most $2,500 a month Toronto tenants would be genuinely jealous of. Number 5, Shawinigan. Shawinigan had a rough few decades. Hydroelectric energy built it into an industrial powerhouse. Then deindustrialization hit hard, and the city felt it. But right now, in 2026, Shawinigan is having a moment. Average one-bedroom, $750 to $900. Two-bedroom, $950 to $1,100. One of the cheapest cities on this list, and it is actively investing in its own comeback. New restaurants, renovation projects, a growing creative class drawn in by exactly one thing: the rent. La Cité de l'Énergie is a world-class science museum sitting right in the middle of the city. The Shawinigan waterfall drops through the downtown core, and it's only 40 minutes from Trois-Rivières and under 2 hours from Montreal. The trade-off is Shawinigan is still rebuilding. Some neighborhoods carry the weight of that industrial past. The job market is thinner than larger cities. But for remote workers, for artists, for anyone who wants space and affordability and a city mid-transformation, Shawinigan might be the most interesting place on this entire list right now in 2026. Quick thing, drop the city you currently live in down in the comments and tell us what you're paying for rent right now. We read every single comment and we're genuinely curious where people are coming from. Okay, top 4.
Number 4. Thetford Mines. This is the dark horse of the list. Located in the Chaudière-Appalaches region about 100 kilometers south of Quebec City, Thetford Mines consistently ranks as one of the most affordable places to live in the entire province of Quebec. Average one-bedroom, $650 to $800. Two-bedroom, $800 to $950. Those numbers are not typos. With around 25,000 people, it's large enough to have real services, a hospital, schools, a functioning downtown, but small enough that there is essentially zero demand pressure on housing. The trade-off is real and worth naming honestly. Thetford Mines has a complicated environmental history tied to asbestos mining. Remediation has been ongoing for years, and the city has worked hard to transform its economic identity. Job opportunities are limited. It is best suited to remote workers or people willing to commute to Quebec City. But for pure affordability, for someone whose income doesn't depend on location, nothing else on this list comes close. Thetford Mines is your spreadsheet winner. Number 3. Drummondville. Drummondville sits at the geographic center of Quebec, right on the highway between Montreal and Quebec City, and it has used that position brilliantly. Average one-bedroom, $900 to $1,150. Two-bedroom, $1,050 to $1,150. It is one of the fastest-growing mid-sized cities in Quebec. The job market is real. Manufacturing, logistics, a growing tech sector. Major employers are here. Young families are choosing it because you can afford a proper apartment, put your kids near green space, and still reach Montreal in 90 minutes when you need to. It has a world-famous historical folk village, a growing restaurant scene, excellent schools, a solid hospital. The quality of urban infrastructure is genuinely impressive for a city this size. The trade-off, Drummondville is not romantic. It's not the place you describe breathlessly at dinner parties. It's practical, suburban, and family-oriented. But if your checklist reads affordable rent, real job market, livable infrastructure, good schools, Drummondville might be the most balanced pick on this entire list. Number 2. Sherbrooke. Sherbrooke is the big one. With 170,000 people, it's a proper city. 2 major universities, Université de Sherbrooke and Bishops, a massive hospital and medical research sector, a vibrant bilingual culture, and a downtown that feels genuinely alive. Average one-bedroom, $950 to $1,100. Two-bedroom, $1,050 to $1,200. Right at the ceiling of our $1,200 benchmark, and it earns every dollar. Sherbrooke is consistently ranked one of the most livable cities in Canada. The Estrie region surrounding it is stunning. Rolling hills, lakes, ski hills within 30 minutes. The job market is anchored by healthcare and education, recession-resistant, stable, and well-paying. The tech sector is growing fast. The city attracts young professionals, students, families, and retirees, creating exactly the kind of mixed demographic that makes a place feel like a real community. The trade-off is honest. It's the most expensive city on this list. In the best neighborhoods, 2 bedrooms will test your $1,200 ceiling, but Sherbrooke gives you big city energy at a fraction of Montreal's price. It earns the number 2 spot. If this list is opening up options you hadn't considered, share this video with someone you know who's struggling with rent right now. This information could genuinely change someone's situation. And subscribe so you're here when we go deeper on each of these cities. Number 1 is coming up. Number 1. Saguenay. Saguenay is not just the most affordable city on this list, it might be the most underrated city in all of Canada. Average 1 bedroom in 2026, $750 to $950. 2 bedroom, $900 to $1,100. That alone is enough to win this countdown. But Saguenay is not just cheap, it is spectacular. The city of 145,000 people sits on the Saguenay River, which carves through an actual fjord. Yes, actual fjords in Quebec, before emptying into the St. Lawrence. The scenery is the kind of thing people pay $3,000 a month in Vancouver to be vaguely near. UQAC, the Université de Québec à Chicoutimi, anchors the city. A strong healthcare sector employs thousands. Aerospace and aluminum manufacturing provide serious industrial jobs. And the city government has actively invested in cycling paths, parks, waterfront infrastructure, and public spaces that make the city feel cared for. Saguenay people have a fierce regional pride. They chose to be here. They love it. That collective identity creates something you can't manufacture, a real sense of community. The honest is a trade-off. The winters are genuinely cold. Saguenay averages some of the lowest winter temperatures of any major Quebec city. We are not going to pretend otherwise. But the infrastructure handles it, the community celebrates it, and the housing prices reward you enormously for it. Here's the picture. For under $1,000 a month, you can rent a spacious 2-bedroom apartment in a city with hospitals, universities, restaurants, a river and a fjord outside your window, and a community of people who chose to be there on purpose. Compared to that, a $2,500 shoebox in Toronto starts to look like the strange choice. We don't know if the perfect affordable life looks the same for everyone. Some people need the energy of a major city, some are tied to family or jobs or roots in places where $1,800 a month is simply the floor and there's no way around it. But for millions of people, remote workers, students, young couples starting out, people on fixed incomes, people who just want to breathe and actually save, the assumption that you have to pay $2,000 a month to live somewhere real is simply false. Quebec built something the rest of Canada is still trying to understand: a strong social housing framework, a culture that prioritized livability, and enough geographic breathing room that good cities haven't all turned into investment assets yet. That window might be closing. Drummondville is growing fast. Sherbrooke prices have moved significantly in just the last 3 years. Even Saguenay is getting discovered. So the question isn't whether these places are good enough. They are. The question is, what are you waiting for? Maybe somewhere along a quiet river in a city that hasn't made the algorithm famous yet, there is a 2-bedroom apartment with your name on it and a landlord who doesn't know you used to pay twice as much for half the space. In 2026, that place still exists. The 7 towns on this list prove it. If you want us to go deeper on any of these cities, full cost of living breakdowns, job market guides, best neighborhoods, what it's actually like to move there, let us know in the comments. We read every single one. Like the video if it gave you something to think about, subscribe so you're here for the next one, share it with someone who needs it. See you in the next one.